All right, today we are making another one from my book, The Curry Guy Bible. We're just making it smaller. We're making it for 2 people rather than 4. And this is a really quick and easy one. Curry house style curries were developed with economy and speed in mind, so the chefs could cook everything and get it out to the table in 10 minutes, turn tables around. So you want to have everything in place when you start one of these curries, because if you don't, it's not going to work right. You want to make sure you have everything to hand, so you can just add it to the pan and you're going to have curry in 10 minutes. And I'm heating this over a high heat. If you are new to cooking, I'd recommend a medium-high heat. You don't have to do it really high. In the curry houses, they would be cooking over quite a high heat to do this. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons, just cover the bottom layer of my pan with some rapeseed oil. Any vegetable oil will do, that's fine. Anything with a high heat. To that, I'm going to add, if I can find it, yeah, here we go, got it. I'm going to add some garlic and ginger paste. Let's go ahead and put that in there. And we're just going to move that around in the pan as it heats up. You don't have to wait for the oil to get really hot because garlic burns quickly. So as soon as you hear it start sizzling, you know it's time to move on with the recipe. But I'm going to let that sizzle in there for about 30 seconds. And as I do that, I'm going to add some turmeric, about a half teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this from the video, but this turmeric should darken a couple of tones as I do this. And to that, I'm going to add a good tablespoon of mixed powder and also some chili powder. Dhansaks can be quite spicy, but they don't have to be. They can be medium spiced. A little something under just low, a little bit less spicy than a madras. But if you want to make it extra spicy, go for it because you're cooking it. Do whatever you like. To that, I'm going to add about 1/4 cups of 70 milliliters of tomato puree, passata. There we are. We're just going to let that kind of sizzle in there. Let all those flavors get to know each other. So this is a curry house style dansak. It is a lot different to the dansaks you might have in India, which is a completely different dish. But this is one that if you like a dansak in the UK, you'll know it, you'll love it, and you'll want to be able to know how to make it, and that's what I'm showing you here today. So I got some base sauce here. Base sauce, I got a recipe for that too, the base sauce. Put a couple of ladles of base sauce in. And we'll just let that kind of simmer together. And as it simmers, you'll notice that it starts to caramelize to the side of the pan. That is if you're using a pan like I am, a metal pan, which it will caramelize. If you're using a non-stick pan, you're not going to get the caramelization because it slides off. But in curry houses, they would be using a pan like this, and you will get that caramelization because it's over such a high heat. To this, I'm going to add some cooked masoor lentils. So last night, my wife and I made a dal, and we decided to take some of the lentils out for this recipe, so I'd have them available. You don't want to add the dal not cooked because it'll just take too long. So at a curry house, they'll just have a bunch of dal just like that that's already been pre-cooked. And it's going to go right in there, and you're just going to stir it in. That's going to thicken and also flavor the sauce. I'm going to add it all. It's about, I don't know, you've seen how much I put in there, but I didn't really weigh it out. But you know, it's about a half a teacup. And we'll just mix that in there like that. That's looking really nice. No need to really stir the sauce at this stage. It's not going to burn from the bottom. It just won't. Trust me, I've done it enough times. It's not going to happen. The only thing that you will want to do is scrape around the edges as it caramelizes, because that's flavor. You don't want to lose that flavor to the pan. You want that flavor to be stirred back in. To this, I'm going to add some tandoori chicken. And I also have a recipe for that as well, a couple. If you have my books, you'll know a few of them. But I'm quickly trying to put some more videos together, which will show you a number of different ways to make chicken tandoori. Now, one thing you can do is, if you really didn't have the, if you don't have the tandoori chicken prepared and everything, if you wanted to add raw chicken or just some rotisserie chicken you get from the supermarket, you could do that. But if you want the curry house flavor, you're going to want to get some kind of a pre-cooked Indian chicken. So it could be tandoori chicken, it could be stewed chicken cooked in Indian spices. It doesn't really make much difference. And to this, we are going to finish off the dish. It's so easy. I'm going to add, that's just about a quarter of a cup, so 70 milliliters of pineapple juice. Now, a lot of people say they don't like pineapple. I found the Dhansaks that have pineapple in it to be not as good as the ones that don't. It's really up to you whether or not you put the pineapple in. I recommend putting the pineapple juice in though, because it's good. It does taste good. To this, I want to also tell you something about this sauce. Because lentils tend to burn very quickly, they can just burn to the bottom of the pan, unlike the sauce can. You want to watch those lentils a little bit and just add a little bit more sauce if you need to. And we'll just go like that. I mean, right now it's looking perfect. It's over a high heat, it's looking perfect. There's very little that can go wrong here. I'm just giving you a little bit of information just in case you need to use it, since if you're new to this. We're just going to let that cook down. I'm going to add the pineapple. I've got about 2 rings of pineapples, just that are from a tin. And what I've noticed is, if you cook it for a while, a couple minutes, the pineapple tends to break down anyway. So even if you're not a big fan of fruit in a curry, you're probably not even going to notice it. There we have it. This is looking so nice. Just scrape around the edges, getting all that flavor in there. It's most definitely going to need a little bit of salt, so I'm going to add some. And I'll probably be adding a little bit more lemon juice at the table as well, but we'll go ahead and add some right now. Just give it a nice tart flavor. It mixes so nicely with the sweetness of the pineapple. There we are. That is Chicken Dhansak in about 10 minutes. No need to go out. You can do it at home very quickly, and it tastes the same, if not better, because you know what's going in there, and you can taste it, and you can say, you know what, I want that to be spicier, and just add some more spicy notes to it. If you find it's too spicy, go ahead and add a little bit more base sauce or something like that. Or you can even calm it down a little bit with some yogurt, though yogurt isn't normally in a Dhansak. This is looking spot on right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat. And if I can grab a spoon here, I'm going to give it a try. That's a Dhansak, just like you'll find at the best curry houses. Chicken Dhansak is really just a play on a very popular Parsi dish called dansak in Mumbai in India. It's really, this is the curry house version, and it's nothing like what you get in India, but it sure is good. And if you like a Dhansak, you're gonna like this recipe. It's a little bit sweet, it's a bit sour, it's a little bit perfect. Give it a try.